special.
Yeah, it's honestly an amazing thing. All of us as players are blessed to be in this situation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear you. We're about to get the third map underway. It's Virtus.Pro versus Keed.
And Snack Smoke. This is Snack's smoke. He's going to throw it for heaven. Love it. Using your own.
CQK.
I bet he learned it in an anti-strat. Oh, he missed it, though.
Leads the charge in for Virtus.Pro. It's Pasha that he'll shoot up towards. Taz gets the first frag for Virtus.Pro, followed up by Snacks. And Virtus.Pro are one away. And they do take the pistol round, and the confidence returns to those chairs.
Yeah, when there's two guys above heaven, and that smoke was supposed to land there. Salty teammates.
Not like 500,000 people watching it, though, so no one knows who to blame for that miss. To
be fair, it's one of the hardest smokes to throw in the game.
Anyway, as we get this back underway, what Keed need there was to win that round, to give them hope, because they're going to go up against a much more armed and dangerous than Nuke. Is a horrible map to go up under-weaponed.
I don't like this out of Keed right off the bat. They have two guys buying full up. They have three guys pretty much saving with just the Deagle, and one guy with P250. They're not on the same page right now. I would like to see them either a full buy with maybe like one guy saving for an AWP, but three guys saving, two guys full buying. I just don't really understand the logic. Surprisingly, though, that guy was able to get down Secret fairly easily with how little gear he had.
He tanks up Snacks down to 36 points of health.
And here you see VP using another really common meta right now at top level CS, having like 3 SMGs on this second round right now. And it basically just allows you to kind of like fight on the run versus these like Tech 9s and P250s. You're a little bit more mobile, and also you get higher money bonus. It's just like goes overall for a better fight and allows trading to happen. Whereas if you're with a rifle, like how Bialy is right now, you're a lot more stationary and a lot more prone to be able to get like one shot and have the round just open up on you. But when you're constantly just strafing around with SMGs, at least people have to spend 4 or 5 bullets to kill you, and the trades can happen at top level CS at that point. But if you just get opened up on with a one shot with a Tech 9 because you're holding an angle with a rifle, that's how those rounds collapse, and that's why you're seeing that right now at top level CS with like Fnatic, Envious, VP, Nips caught on. All those teams are doing that now.
2-0 VP. And it is business as usual for them. Having won that pistol, they'll look to convert this into a 3-0 lead. Taz and Bialy go to work on bolts and fur. And going to be a bomb plant for Keed, but nothing left to defend it. Money in the bank nevertheless.
Very good plant right there by Keed, but I mean, these amount of kills are scaring me because Virtus.Pro is getting crazy economy built.
And you'll see now
they might like to just keep these SMGs. Virtus.Pro has been known to just like use throwaway rounds like this, almost to just kill 3 guys with something kind of crazy, and then try to just win the next round to reset the other team's money and just take over from there with a crazy economy built. The other team's in shambles. So I think they're probably going to be like hyper aggressive this round. Taz probably going to play in the hut with that P90. We'll see.
Pushing out to find the AWPer is Taz, and it's CQK who goes down. Neo has Steel on the other side as well, and everything is going Virtus.Pro's way at the moment. That CT aggression that they love to show. They showed it against you yesterday on Inferno. They did it on Mirage as well, and it's really paying off. Actually, very surprising to have not seen any of it on Overpass on their CT side.
Yeah, and that's how I knew they were going to fall back on it right now, is just they know when they don't play the game they want. And I just know, after talking with them after so many events, whenever they play passive like that and they lose, they're just so mad at themselves. Like, they almost get stuck in some kind of weird mindset that they can't break. But if they play another map, they're out of that zone immediately. They know what they did wrong and they fix it.
Perhaps easier said than done, but they seem to be doing it. Fur gets himself a frag onto Bialy. He and Bolts have 4 more men to find, though. It's Bolts who'll go first. Neo was lying in wait for him. And
Neo has such amazing awareness as a ramp player. Just knowing that that fringe was on that side of the smoke, it looked like he was in a bad spot right there, but I know as a ramp player, you're always aware of that fringe and a guy lurking to that corner. It's a very common thing that the lurkers like to do, especially in low, like 2v4s and like 3v4s, where people like to try to get that kill to kind of even up the round. Neo just showing his experience right now, clearing that angle.
And you can see the stats coming through. The scoreboard there is the VP KDRs are quite special at the moment. That being said, they're yet to face one of the big boys.
By the way, Silvers, even top level CS, you see P90s pushing the hut and killing your Opera in lobby. Don't get mad.
Wow. Little personal message there.
No. I would be furious if I was that Opera. And what Taz just did right there is to prevent someone from smoking heaven. So I think that's actually, I should probably go to the other class, but he probably already did.
From here on in for Keed, this is a hard old slog.
Yeah, this is going to be a really rough half. This is not going to be a half by the end of 6 rounds. It's going to be like probably like 3, 4, which is normal for Nuke. It's not a bad half by any means. They can come back.
See the optimism flowing back into you. Yali gets himself one. It's CQK who gets the only frag for the Brazilians. And VP have 5 in a row.
It's just, again, what's so alarming about these rounds is just the amount of players Virtus.Pro is living with right now. Like 3 of them right now have almost 10K. One at 10K, another one at 10K, 8K, 9K. One's broke, Bialy, but they can drop him guns for days.
It's going to take quite the momentum pull from Keed to get themselves back into this. There is little to no money in those banks.
4 kills over 5 rounds right now. And at very least, Keed needs to start getting frags on the board so that way when they win rounds, they can string them together.
Bolt's completely unaware of where Bialy is.
And I almost want to say that Virtus.Pro probably stole this setup from TSM. We actually stole this setup from TSM also outside. Just having that guy close, having a guy in catwalk spotting for him kind of thing. TSM has been known for doing this setup for quite a long time now, one of the strongest ranked teams. I'm sure Virtus.Pro scouted them because they were probably expecting to play them, even though they never happened to play them. So maybe Virtus.Pro using a page out of TSM's book right there.
Collective ooh let out from the audience as Pasha is dropped by the AWP of CQK. Bialy, though, will lie in wait for Bolts.
Oh, amazing awareness right there by Bolts. I know from watching us use that angle a lot, even after your upper dies, there's about a 90% chance that guy doesn't start betting.
Here we go. Opportunity for Keed. They reset and they'll have 5 men up against 3. They need to close this one out.
Here's Neo. He's already left ramp. That's your ramp player right there, out there on catwalk. Just such awesome rotations.
Taz pulls us back to level numbers. ZQKS can't get out of there. Snacks is waiting with your point-blank range with Fur. 2 more frags, though, for the Brazilians. Leave us with just Neo, but there's more than enough. ZQKS has 3 points of health. At best now, he's going to want to get that bomb down. And we'll wait. He's got 1 shot to hit the big man. And he's right on top of him. He doesn't land it. He's still going with the AWP. He wants to no-scope him as he drops. Can't quite do it. And Taz, Neo, finishes him off.
I was holding my breath for about 10 seconds right there. That was insane. Wow. And yeah, that's exactly what I went into this map talking about, is Neo's not afraid to leave ramp to save a round like that. He will leave ramp knowing that there's such a high unlikelihood that a team that sends 3 guys outside are going to go all the way back to ramp, commit to the lower bomb site, and even if they did, he's going to have such a jump on that, probably get control, be able to drop vents, and then still be able to do a lot of damage. So good play right there by Neo.
But from a 5-on-3, Keed let that slip. Yeah.
But that's just, I honestly think that that's more the map than Keed. I don't even blame Keed for losing that round. That's just Neo making a great play. And that's what happens on CT side of this map when you play top level CS. Just good rotations like that. Just hard to beat. You have to make gambles on Nuke if you're gonna win almost.
6-0 VP. Fallen with a silhouette to try and strike at. Snacks is aware that there is an outside push coming, and he will wait for Fallen. Neo is still in the ramp, but now with a AWP for his troubles.
And Snacks is one of my favorite players to watch outside. He's like some sort of hybrid opper that can just sense out rushes like that by jiggle peeking on top of the red, the most aggressive spot you can possibly play. Backing off, going mini, able to drop secret, playing 2-vent right now. He can do it all really outside. Favors when he lurks those smokes though.
Neo spots and strikes down CQK. And Neo just quicker on the draw to pick up that first frag, but Bolts will stop the rot. And Taz expecting someone to be coming there is going to spike Fur, and he'll get the first, and he'll get the second, and there is a third, and he will almost get that as well. But Snacks will help him finish that job. The AWP of Fallen moves in. He's 1-on-2. He's going to go up close and personal with Pasha. And Pasha will come out on top.
And a lot of people will question right there, like on the forums I'll read people question that repeat by Neo with that op, and people don't need to understand that that's not just like a repeat just because he's hungry for frags. That's a repeat because if he dies to a guy close like that, he can almost certainly call that there's 2 or 3 guys under ladder boosting. That's so much information at a late point in the round like that was, that the rotations for a VP on a map like Nuke, where you can just fly around the map really quick, again, Keed was in an impossible spot to win almost. They would have had to like go ramp and ignore Heaven at that point.
7 rounds in and just 11 frags on the board for Keed. This is a massacre as Virtus.Pro go to work on them once more. Taz has 2 more, and it will be just Fur and Bolts left standing. Bolts has 1, and they're going to have to go a lot further. Yeah. It's a nice way to start as Snacks is met on the end of Fur's weapon, but Bialy will drop Bolts, and it is all on Fur in that M4, and they know exactly where he is! And VP are 8-0 up.
Taz doing what he does best, holding down that front hut, just so strong in that position. I remember boot camping for the first major in Stockholm. DreamHack, what was that, like
2013, yeah.
2013. He was holding that front hut just like that, pushing in the hut like he did with the P90, just demolishing us. I remember that back then. He's still doing it today.
How do you counter him?
It's really hard on you, to be honest. You just have to trade kills really effectively. You got to wait that smoke out. You can't go through that smoke, that's for sure.
And there he is, Mr. Counter-Strike, frag number 1. Fallen's going to get it. Snacks follows up onto Bolts. And this is looking like another tough ask for Keed. CQK has the frag on Taz, but Bialy will quickly remind Keed where they are. And Keed are going to call for a timeout. CQK misses his opportunity. This hasn't been a game to remember for him at the moment. He's being chased down by Neo. Bialy comes at him. He is 1-on-4, but 2 have him well sandwiched. And as he pushes out, Bialy manages to escape, and Neo has given up the chase. They'll just let him live a little longer.
Yeah, it's almost like they're toying with him right now.
Exactly what they do. Frag onto Pasha. This is your moment at a major ZQK. Can you deliver the round of the tournament thus far?
Those are some nice things.
Neo makes sure that nothing happens. And it is 9-0 Virtus.Pro. Keed have got to get something on the board. We're going to a pause right now. If you were Peter behind those Keed players, what would you be saying?
Well, what they did that round was something similar to kind of what I wanted them to do, was that wall of smoke outside, do a mini split, but they really didn't let it develop. They just threw the wall of smoke and they instantly went into the inner split while the hut smoke was still there, while the guy hadn't even dropped vents yet because they haven't even really let the strat marinate yet. You know, like they have to let the rotations happen before they do a mini split like that. They have to let the guy drop secret. They have to let the ramp rotator leave ramp, and they have to let the hut smoke fade. But they didn't do any of those things, and they tried to rush into an inner split. They again ran into Taz pretty much through a smoke. The mini guy actually got a mini fairly successfully. He dropped off the mini roof, but it was just at what cost at that point, because all the info was given. Virtus.Pro had so many red flags that told him what the strat was. It was just too late.
So you'd heard it here first from Sean Garris. You've got to let a strat marinate.
Yes, got to let it simmer in that pot. You know, bring it to a light boil.
Now, Peter, the man behind Keed, is a man who knows something about comebacks on Nuke. CLG were 13-2 down against Hellraisers and managed to pull victory out of the bag. So there is hope.
Yeah, absolutely. This map is by no means over. So all Keed needs right now is just 2 to 3 rounds. Honestly, 2 rounds is doable. Both ourselves and CLG came back from first halves where we got 3 rounds T-side Nuke. We both came back with 13-2 halves second half. It's definitely doable. By no means is it impossible. Nuke's a very heavily CT-sided map. This is still a game, and it's not over at all.
Here we go. If Keed are to come back, it must start right now, though. They need something on the board before that halftime whistle rings. Does it whistle ring? No, really.
And Pasha switching up now, opping these secret stairs. Something that Kenny S really made popular almost about a year ago, I guess, when he would just instantly rush there. He'd actually take a fast route through ramp, blow up the door lower to actually cut his time by like a quarter of a second. It's pretty epic.
Look at these opening exchanges. Damage done to those Keed players.
They should know where that Molotov came from. Okay, they do. Good, good.
Not that they can do anything about it as Pasha pops up to drop bolts. Second orb from Snacks will pick off. This is a tough push for Steel with only 16 points of health. And he will go straight into the crosshairs of Snacks, who will pick him off. And Fallen, now the next man, and it is just frag after frag, heavy hit after heavy hit. And Keed cannot pick themselves up right now. So the chant that you might be hearing from the crowd has just been translated for us. The crowd are singing for 16-0.
Oh my goodness. They might get it.
They want blood.
So, even though I didn't really see what happened at Inner that round, I can guarantee it happened because I've seen Virtus.Pro demos. When they get this kind of momentum, they get this double op setup. They know the other team knows they're double opping. The only thing that can really beat them is an Inner rush, because once they take Inner, you have 2 ops, probably not retaking the site. I guarantee Taz and Bialy are just pre-Molotoving Inner, because that's the one thing that can beat them right now, and they're just shutting it down. So Keed is just, half of their players are like, we should rush Inner, and then the guy that's lurking lobby is probably like, they're just pre-mauling everyone, we're just going to get owned. You cannot do that.
Neo with an awesome headshot onto Fur as he retreats from the ramp. It's Snacks who's going to be next in line, and he had just a millimeter to hit, and boy did he pick it off. And now we will reset for the next. Assault's coming lower this time. Bialy ready to jump out and strike. Neo gets himself the first. Onto Fallen.
It's almost like Virtus.Pro is in their TeamSpeak right now, understand Portuguese, and are reacting to every strat they goal. Just one step ahead right now at every turn.
Neo hits the frag onto bolts. And follows up with a second. There you go, it is 11-0. And the dream of 16-0 for this home crowd is still very much alive. Keed just haven't showed up.
No.
And that is
what I do think. Oh, so they're trying to double op setup. This seems to be their solution when things don't work. I noticed this on like Overpass, Mirage. This seems to be something that Keed really likes doing. Bring out the double op, really bringing CS back to its basics, looking for picks, drop all of their like tactics and just look for picks at this point. However, I think I would like to see them heavily push towards the Heaven. Really get in the Opera's faces. If they know the Heaven smoke, combine that with the wall of smoke. By Heaven smoke, I mean like the catwalk smoke for outside. So that way they're not susceptible to being picked from Heaven. Really being able to single off places. And that information that the Opera got outside just now is huge. They threw the wall of smoke, the Opera crept through the fringe, I believe it was Snacks. Pretty much told them no guys outside. Literally has eyes on outside right now. They already know they're going to hit Inner. VP's gonna have 4 guys there. This is gonna be an extremely hard round.
It's almost like you've seen this before, Sean.
Yes. I'm almost begging you to go ramp right now, Creed. Please.
Here comes Taz, bolts with the headshot. Neo picks off Fallen elsewhere on that ramp, which is where you asked them to go. And they have obliged, but Snacks with the headshot back on the bolts, and this tall order remains tall. With just 20 seconds left to execute it as well. Pasha picks off the frag onto Steel and will follow up with ZQK down. Only Fur, and he will go no further than Pasha. It is now 12-0 VP. This could be a perfect half.
Yeah, it's shaping up to look like that. And Steel actually did a really good job of working all the way through ramp, getting under heaven. Unfortunately for him, doing that on Nuke is almost like a worthless gain. I mean, at that point, you still have to make a trip up a ladder. Fight a guy that's literally holding the easiest angle in the whole map. So all that work for almost nothing. And it's really hurting right now for your team.
Here we go. They're coming to your man in the ramp room. It's Neo. And this nade will have hurt his chances, but he has Pasha to back him up. And Neo falls a long way back. Bolts has himself the frag onto Taz, and this might just be Keed's opportunity.
Good job lurking in the lobby right there, keeping Viali at bay right there, throwing the smoke front hut, not letting him get that info. Kind of forcing them to think that there's a chance they could go upper. See Virtus.Pro rotate a second guy in the upper, throw that smoke. Do it, Bolts. What an angle.
Pasha picks up and we're back to a 4-on-4. Fallen returns the favor, and the man advantage is restored for Keed. This is their opportunities. They try to take this upper side, but Bolts will go and get that first frag. Second frag is his before he's dropped in the end by Neo. And now Steel comes in, and Keed have themselves their first round. And if you believe in the Easter Bunny, boys and girls, then maybe you believe in this comeback for Keed. And now they're cheering the fans for, I guess, 16-1.
Yes, they obviously changed that 0 to a 1. This is amazing.
I'm learning numbers in Polish at this point. So.
Now they just want a 1-on-1, so their money is really low. This is going to be a tough round for Keed, but they almost need it.
Fallen versus Neo. In the ramp room, reinforcements coming, but that flash pushes Steel back, and Neo has done a good job of repelling as he retreats down, full health as well, with many bullets fired at him. He gets out of there and is calling for backup in the ramp room.
And that's just Neo's excellent movement right there. He was in such a bad situation. He escaped with 100 HP. Those guys didn't hit him one time just now, and all of that exchange. That's incredible, actually.
Snacks with a frag to the foot. As it follows up with number 2 onto Fur. And Bolts is down, and Neo returns to finish off the round. 13-1, Virtus.Pro. Oh, second gift. Request to Reddit. We need Snacks gifts on his fist bumps.
I love Snacks, by the way. He's one of the nicest humans.
Nicest humans? There are 7 billion of them. But I wouldn't disagree that VPs in general are pretty lovable.
They are.
And there is not much in the armory for Keed now in this last round of the half, having won one and lost the subsequent with that money system against them. It's Taz who'll look for the next. It's Fallen coming around. Taz is waiting. Bialy and Pasha have frags as well. And Fur will walk out and confirm the inevitable that the first half of map 3 was a whitewash. 14-1. And that was a disaster for Keed.
Yep, it was. And Snacks literally picking up right where he left off at the same exact major last year, just being a force to be reckoned with.
Both Snacks and Pasha, well, the new guys, if you will, some years later, maintaining their dominance. But it's great to see the different playstyles that have merged together on that VP side. Neo evolving as a player, and you can see that in the stats as he continues to come back to full form. There you go, the full run of VP face masks.
Those masks are just the creepiest things I've ever seen. It reminds me of the TV show The Following. I don't know why. It's really creepy.
I haven't seen it, unfortunately.
It's pretty bad. Don't watch it.
Good advert there. It's creepy and it's bad. So a blip for VP on map 2, but normal service appears to have resumed. We are ready to start the second half in some 45 seconds. Now remember, Sean, our job as casters is to make the audience believe, maybe not the home audience, the online audience believe that their comeback is possible. At 14-1, we've seen it done on Nuke before, just not regularly and definitely not against a former major champion. How would you do it?
I just need to let me dive in the brains of Peter right now and enter their mumble or the team speak. Boys, we can do this. Let's do this, boys. Boys, I've come back from 3 to 12. I literally did it just yesterday. We've got this.
Oh my God, I thought you were Peter. Oh my God, it's Sean, jeez.
All right. No, brother, not boys. Can I take back?
You can say it all over again.
Every boys. I want to go back and do brother. Maybe after. After they come back, I'll do it.
All right. Sean believes it's possible with the power of Peter.
Let's do it.
I compel you. Virtus.Pro need just 2 rounds, and they will start on this pistol. They charge towards the semi-finals. Bialy racing around the outside. Caught a glimpse of someone darting in, but it's CQK has just 7 points of health already. And as the millisecond after Bialy was around that corner, there was a bullet in the head. Taz and Pasha have 2 more. And it is now Fallen, who will remind us that Fallen's actually had an exemplary game. But this has Fur. Bomb planted. Fur has 19 points of health if he wants to do something about it. 17 now. But he will not go down without a fight. Via the spirit of Peter, he compels himself to push himself out! And Neo's having none of it.
Excellent pistol round here by Virtus.Pro. Bialy, I believe it was Bialy entered it right there with that headshot on the guy Mini. It might have been Bialy that caught him lower too, just when he came out the vent. I mean, just whoever got that entry kill and headshot him was just perfect. There's Waldo.
We are in the Coliseum, and the kill call has been made by the Virtus.Pro fans. They want blood.
Everyone is now on their feet.
Every frag will be cheered on like a winner. Fallen in that scout, though, bid to repel this attack. You can see nothing through the smoke, and the push has come from VP as they elude him and will now charge. It'll be Fur and Bolts that will send some things up. Steel's going to see action in a moment as well, as he bids to hold on to B. And if he'd pull this one off, there's going to be a lot of people sitting back down. Oh, Steel, shotgun headshot before being dropped in the back by Taz. Neo returns with frag number 2. Pasha has the 3rd. They're 2 away from the semi-finals. And Fallen is going to have to make his way through the smoke. There's just no way into that site for them. And he does connect with his first hit. And the second. Taz will go down. And CQK is waiting to make his entrance to the site with the help of Fallen as they come in side by side. CQK pushes towards Pasha. Fallen has fallen, and so have Keen. Virtus.Pro have destroyed Keen on map 3. They take the game by 2 maps to 1. Let's not forget that magnificent performance from Keed on Overpass, but otherwise it was routine. Mirage was a stomp, and Nuke was even worse. Sean Garris, your closing thoughts?
Yeah, and honestly, that's just the definition of what Virtus.Pro has always been as a team. They'll dominate you one map, they'll let you almost breathe in the second map, they'll be light on you, and then like a fire will be lit under them, and they will dominate you in the third map. I would love to see a stat to just see their third map statistics and just see how many times they've dominated on the third map compared to any other top level team. Because I just feel like whenever they get to that third map, they're unstoppable.
What will Keed have taken away from their first major?
They had a really great showing, and I did read on Twitter before the event started that Gabriel Fallen, his goal was to reach top 8, and I'm glad that they were able to do that. And this was a really learning experience for them. They got to play a lot of top level teams. I think they had Nip in their group, Hellraisers, CLG. Now they got to play Virtus.Pro. They've experienced a lot of different styles of CS, honestly, from Swedes to the Poles to Hellraisers, how aggressive they are, that like Ukrainian Russian style, and then now finishing it up with CLG. I mean, they've had a lot of experience here in this trip, and they can take back a lot.
We're going to throw it over to the stage to our Sean number 2. But first of all, I'd like to thank you, Sean number 1. Great job here on the desk. We hope to see more of you. But over to you, Sean number 2.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stu. I feel honored being Sean number 2 to such a great Sean number 1. I'm joined by Taz. Taz.
To my wam dziękujemy!
Now, Taz, there's a lot of questions I'm sure everybody's dying to ask you. I mean, a game like that, a first map that was supposed to be for Keed, I mean, the guys didn't come into it. Second map, you know, it was almost like a Rocky Balboa fight. You know, there was ebb and flow, and you looked almost gone. You came all the way back. It went into overtime. What was that like for you?
If this was Rocky Balboa, I felt like this black guy who's getting killed by the Russian. That's how I felt, you know, during this game.
Okay. And I mean, the crowd made so much noise during that. It went from moments of mouse silence to singing songs to cheering. I mean, you must hear that. What does it do for you?
Well, that helps a lot. I mean, even when you have this headsets and boosts, like we can hear it, and it really gives us a boost. So, dzięki wielkie, dzięki, jesteście wielcy.
Now, of course, Keed played well. I mean, what would you like to say to those guys? They traveled all the way from Brazil. They were crowdfunded to get to the qualifiers, and they come here up against you in arguably very tough circumstances. What would you have for them going forward?
Well, I think that, first of all, they have pretty damn good snipers in a team. I mean, they went on a frenzy on Overpass, and they basically always had like the opening. Not one, but 2 guys killed at the beginning of the round. So kudos to them. I think that they really played awesome city side. Even though we played really fast, they really just outpicked us during this game. And I think that they just need to continue and grow. One map in quarterfinal, it's just a start for them. I know that they were happy with the score already, like with the quarterfinals, but maybe next year or next event we can see more of them.
So a big round of applause for Keed. Now, of course, you get to go home, chill out, relax this evening. What about tomorrow? What are your thoughts for tomorrow, for you and the team?
Well, I mean, I think that we were already on the top, like thinking about the game for tomorrow, and that's why we didn't really click on some things today against the Brazilians. But yeah, I think that we prepared for this game, and there's nothing like winning here with our home crowd cheering for us against Fnatic, so we are coming for them.
Coming for them. All right, guys, one more time. Dziękuję, thank you very much. And of course, it means we'll pass over to the man. That is you, Machine.